Hey everybody, Friday Flowers. Today I am talking about the family afterwards. Okay, so once you get sober and you're starting your life over again, how do you start over with your family? This is one of the reasons that people relapse the most, I think, is because of the family afterwards. So let's talk about that while I do some flowers. I want to show you another trick of the trade if you go to Michael's. This stuff. They have it in solid green. Let me see what I got. They have it in green. They have it in this kind of red. Now it looks different in the water. It's tape, right? It's pretty cool. And they even have a dark red one. Let's use this one. Use up the kind of the one that's kind of looks like it should be thrown away. Let's see. I'm a recycle nut, as you know. So I like to utilize things. So all you do is you take a jar and you put this stuff in it. It's waterproof, okay? It's got a fold in it. I'm gonna go with a fold. Maybe the best way is like this. There we go. And you put it around. What it's gonna look like is it's gonna look like okay, you would get in like Hawaii. Okay, it's gonna look like that. Let's go like this, this. Okay, and what it does is it looks like you've got leaves in there, big tropical leaves. And I'm gonna walk off the stage right now because I don't have the right kind of camera, but I'm right here, okay? I know Jacqueline is gonna be very mad at me, my marketing director. So you put that in there, and then what happens is it gets wet and it looks like a real leaf. And why do you see this a lot? They use these big tropical leaves and it hides the stem and it makes it look like you got this fancy schmancy stuff in there. Okay, so see, this stuff is supposed to, when we're done, it will look like I stuck a leaf in there. Got my watch on. Hello, Karen. Okay, and you just kind of stick it in that water. And it's gonna look like I got leaves in there to hide my stems. Very fun. Okay, so let's make this one a greenery. Let's do greenery in this one, okay? Let's see what I can do. I don't know. And this one's gonna be more loosey-goosey. This is like one you would make, you know, without all that tape on the top like last time. Okay, so the family afterwards. So the family afterwards, boy, here's something, is one of the biggest reasons that people can't stay sober, I think, is because once a person goes to, let's say they go to treatment, right? They go to treatment, they're in treatment for 30 days, and they get rest, right? They get detoxed and rest, and they get food and yoga. They're going to the gym, and they make all these new friends, right? Let's just put those in. And then I'm gonna use up like all my greens. Let's use the eucalyptus. And then people come home from treatment, and the family who is exhausted because you have been loaded and you've been causing all these problems in the world, right? They're exhausted. And you come home and you're all refreshed and you're all, oh, I went to treatment and we went horseback riding. And it sounds like a freaking spa. And you talk to a therapist and you're talking about your childhood and you did this and you did that and you feel so great about life. And they're like, what the hell? You know, what about us? We're exhausted. When are you gonna go back to work? When are you gonna help with the bills? The lawn hasn't been mowed for months, right? All of a sudden, everybody wants you to get back on track. And you're all, you know, serenity prayer, when's the next meeting? And you start telling them about God. You know, I found God, and you know, if you just ask God for help, you know, your wife's losing her mind in the kitchen, and you come in and say, well, you know what you need to do? You should ask God for some help. Well, you know what she might do? She might take out a butcher knife and stab you in the heart because she has been holding down the fort the whole time you've been loaded. And she does not want to hear about your newfound religion. And she does not want you spending all your time at those frickin' meetings. You've been gone long enough. You were gone for 30, 60 days in treatment. And I need some help around here, right? That's what you're gonna get. Kids are gonna be like, hello, I have a play on Thursday and you haven't been around. Could you possibly show up for some kind of school event? And you're like, oh, I have a men's group that night, right? So it's hard. People don't know what to expect. Then the alcoholic will take the alcoholism in your head, which is a mental illness, will start fucking with you, and it will say, see, nobody loves you. Nobody cares. They'd be happier if you drank. I might as well drink, right? And people drink again. So you come home, you come from treatment, you know, you've made these great friends from all over, and you know, there's bills piled up and nobody's paid the bills, and you know, the windshield on the car has been broken and no one took it to get fixed, and you're like, oh my God, sobering up sucks, right? Why am I sobering up to this? And then everybody's mad and people start to fight. So if you see, I just put all this greens in there like fillers, and then I'm gonna poke my flowers in. I'm gonna do this a little different. These are those ones I got a while ago. They're like thistles. Do you see those? They're like thistles. And then I got some of those other ones that are like, I think these were called Veronica or something. I can't remember, I'm sorry. My very good follower, a couple things about flowers I need to say. One of my followers, I'm not gonna say her name for anonymity reasons, but she follows me and she sent me a little guide for all fillers to identify, so that I can identify them. She says she's enjoying I'm gonna put flower food in this too, even though I haven't yet. These are the packets. When I go and buy tons of flowers, I mean, I'm telling you, I end up with just like oodles of these things. So hang on to them and use them because they work. They keep the bacteria out of the water and they feed the plant, and you'll get a longer plant life. Okay, so what do? How do you do the family afterwards? First thing you have to realize, I mean, if you were in treatment, they might suggest that your family member go to Al-Anon. They will tell your family member. You don't need to tell your family member, okay? Keep your big fat ideas to yourself. People are pissed off and they don't want to hear your ideas. You have been drunk on the couch or shooting up heroin in the garage for a long time now, and nobody wants to hear from you. So just shut up. I know. I've had women before, single mothers that have gotten sober, and they come to me and they say, oh my God, you know, and they've got 28 days. And they've been drunk and loaded at home with a child, maybe 8, maybe 9, right? I'm thinking about this one person in particular. And she got sober and she went home and she was like, oh, your grades are horrible. You need to get studying and you better get to bed, and why don't you do this? And your room is a mess. We are getting on track, right? It's kind of like my 0 to hero talk last week, is that all of a sudden, you know, we want to be, you know, make up for lost time. Well, if you want to piss off a kid, do that. Just do that. Start telling them what you think they should do. I'll tell you what happened to me. I was a single mom of a girl, a brilliant girl. I am still her mother. But at the time, now I got some of these spider mums that I got last week. I really liked it. They kind of were fragile and fell apart, if you remember. But I liked them, and I'm gonna stick them in here. This is kind of a wildflower look, a botanical more look than the romantic roses I did last week. So anyway, I was in bad shape. And when I finally got sober after that relapse, and I had lost everything, right? Everything. And I got sober, and I was sober, maybe 9 months. It was a while. It was a little while. And I finally got sober again, and I got her back. And I started calling the shots again at the house. and I said something to her about, I think it's time you get your shower and you go to bed. Do you have your homework done? You know, do you have your backpack packed? And she looked at me and she said, I have been taking care of myself now for years while you have been drunk, passed out on the couch, and I haven't known if you were dead or alive. I have locked the doors, locked the house, turned off the oven, turned off the stovetop of the dinner you left on that was burning, that was supposed to be my dinner, got myself my own dinner, took my own bath, did my own homework, packed my backpack, and got in bed. And now you want to tell me when to go to bed? She said, no, you don't get to tell me what to do anymore. I'll do it myself. And I couldn't believe it. And you know what? I didn't get mad. She was right. And from that point on, I kind of figured I lost my mother card. You know, my job was to keep her safe and fed at that point and keep my mouth shut. Love and tolerance was my code kind of thing. I was to help at home. I'd done a lot of damage there, more than I knew because I was drunk. I didn't know. And I got to tell you, the reason women have such a hard time sobering up is because of that guilt and remorse they feel. You do not have time for guilt and remorse, okay? If your child comes at you like that, with a statement like that, like mine did, you just admit they're right. And I did with her. I said, well, you're right. And I'm sorry. And I'm trying to do better. And she just turned around and walked away from me. And that is the way it is. You know what I mean? I don't know what to say about that, except for she was right. And I owe. So what I do now is I just owe. I don't try to tell people. I don't try to give people my type of religion or what I believe. You know what they told us in AA? People don't want to know. You know, there's a story in the book about, they tell you about this in the family afterwards. There's a chapter. And they talk about how, this is turning out really pretty. I really like it. I'm going to take a shot from above so you can see it. They talk about this one guy, and he went home and he starts talking about God. And he wants them to do the morning and evening meditation with him every day. And the kids are like, yeah, right. Let's see if you stay sober. And, you know, everyone's cynical. Of course they're cynical. How many times have you quit? How many times have you said, this is it? I'm done. Well, too many times, obviously. So you need to give everyone a break and leave them alone. This is your program. If they want to go to Al-Anon, they will go to Al-Anon. Okay? You're not to tell them to go to Al-Anon. You're to mind your own business. Take out the trash. Do the dishes. See if you can be helpful. Leave people alone. And yes, I'm talking about your family. Leave them alone. You've done so much damage there. Just, they will let you know when they need your help. Otherwise, add to the stream of life. Don't be a dick, right? That's an old monk saying. Don't be a dick. Ask God for some help and see if you can add to. Go to your meetings. Don't insist people go to meetings with you. Don't insist that they meet your friends. Don't be talking about, well, I need some balance because my family's mad. You don't need balance. You need to go to AA. Balance will get you drunk again. That's just your head trying to screw with you and tell you that you need to do something else. It's trying to get you out of the room is what it's trying to do. Do not listen to your head. Now, the thing about this illness too is it's not just a killer of you, it is a killer of the entire family. So it's like Freddy Krueger getting in your house. So leave your family alone. Let them heal. Let them recover. The only way they're going to really know that you're going to stay sober is by action, what they see, not what you say. What you say means nothing. I've been doing that's called a living amends, when you just shut up and start helping, right? And I've been doing a living amends with my daughter now for almost 10 years. Still not working. It's going to take a while. The damage I did was great, right? It's not an easy fix. It's not an overnight fix. But I don't listen to the guilt and the shame. If I could have done better, I would have. That's what I want you to know. If you could have done better, you would have. I would have. I couldn't. This is an illness. It's a mental illness. It is not about parenting. I would have thought I'd be the best parent in the world. right? But God had other plans. And I'm doing my best now to try to make up for that and try to do things differently. And that is what I can do. I can really just try to see how I can add to the stream of life. But I will not get into guilt, remorse, and self-pity, because that will take me down. And I have to leave people alone. I have to shut my mouth and leave my ideas out of it. What I learn in AA is for me. I'm the one with the problem. They're not the one with the problem. Okay, so remember those things, and your family afterward experience will be much better. I love you all. See you soon.